Welcome. This is Heather Knutson, HomeSphere's Director of Marketing. I want to welcome each of you to today's event, Technology and Innovation in Home and Community Design, sponsored by HomeSphere's preferred partner, Icynene. We know today's topic is of interest as we welcome our 300-plus participants registered for today's event. Our first presenter today is Tim Comstock from Icynene. Icynene spray foam insulation utilizes technology and innovation to create healthier, more energy-efficient homes. Whether you're a custom home builder, architect, production builder, or homeowner, or simply searching for the best insulation choice for your existing home, Icynene is the brand for you. And today, I want to welcome Tim. Tim is the Director of Builder Accounts for Icynene, and we'll now hear a short presentation from today's sponsor. Tim, I welcome you to present on behalf of Icynene.
Thanks, Heather. We're excited to be part of this event today, and I'm just going to start off by giving a general overview of who Icynene is, and then also kind of a informative, quick, brief presentation on spray foam insulation. So with that said, Icynene is a spray foam manufacturer that's been in business now for 28 years. We're based out of the Toronto, Ontario area. I have locations currently in Memphis, Tennessee, and Phoenix, Arizona, and we'll be adding some locations here in the next 12 to 18 months in New Jersey, Minnesota, and Washington areas. So we are I guess from a branding standpoint and brand awareness standpoint, the industry leader when it comes to different surveys that have been done by different trade associations. So our products are sold directly to the installation contractors that are installing our products in the field, and all of those people have been trained and certified and licensed by our Icynene Technical Services Group. On top of that, all of our products are tested and have been approved by the International Code Council, or ICC. Our company is currently selling products in about 30 countries across North America, Central America, Europe, Asia, Australia, etc., as shown from this map here. So our footprint is continuing to grow globally every year. Now, so getting into spray foam, current technology is using some other products or traditional type insulation products that address conductive heat resistance. The building code changes that are coming are kind of driving people more towards conductive as well as convective heat resisting products, such as spray foam insulation. So what is spray foam insulation? It's basically a two-component blend of products that are poured or sprayed in place and expand into a foam plastic material that insulates, which, like I said, addresses our values, and also air seals, which is the convective heat resistance. Like I said, the product is a two-part mix, so they're sold in approximately, depending on the manufacturer, 250-gallon drums of material that are in turn sprayed and basically installed in the field. So those two components are typically called an A side or an isocyanate, and then there's also a B side, which is a resin. And the B side is really the thing that differentiates one manufacturer from another, and that resin includes things like polyols, catalysts, surfactants, flame retardants, and then a blowing agent. So not all foams are the same. The B side or resin part of that mix is what really differentiates manufacturer to manufacturer and gives these finished products different performing factors like the yield or amount of finished material you get, as well as things like flame resistance. So what are the two most commonly used products in residential construction? There's low-density spray foam and medium-density spray foam, which typically people may hear different names for those. One is open-cell foam for the low-density and closed-cell foam for the medium-density. Now, low-cell foam or open-cell foam is a soft, kind of flexible foam and has it's basically a half-pound per cubic foot density material, and the water blowing agent, or the blowing agent with that material, is actually water. The R value for this product is 3.7 per inch, as opposed to medium density foam, which is typically called closed cell and is much more hard and rigid and is difficult to poke your fingers into. At trade show displays, we always have people poking the fingers into the half-pound foam and have a difficult time adjusting the composition or the finished material of the 2-pound per cubic foot product or closed cell foam. Closed cell foams have a captive blowing agent, which is typically a chemical type of blowing agent that's used. The R values for closed cell foam or medium density foam is anywhere from 6.6 to 7 per inch, and so that chemical blowing agent is what leads to that product having a little bit higher R value per inch. The fastest growing spray foam product in North America, though, over the last number of years, has been open cell foam, and the reason is it's much more affordable. When you spray those two products, you end up getting almost 3 times the amount of finished material with open cell foam as you would with closed cell foam. So no surprise that the open cell foam has been the fastest growing spray foam product over the last 5 years. And you can see from the graphic on the right, Icynene is got a strong position in that open cell market with about 27% market share. Now, really, the difference with what we feel at Icynene is really with our product innovation. You can see here we came out with our original open cell spray foam product back in 1986, and that product stayed as the only product Icynene offered for about 23 years. So then at that time we came out with a little more green soy component called ISIC Classic Eco. And then in the late 2009, early 2010 timeframe, they brought in some new senior leadership, and since that time, we've launched a number of new products that are really based to meet building code requirements and different hurdles that we've ran into from a cost standpoint. So really, our objective is to make spray foam product as affordable as possible for any builders that want to use the product. So with that said, this is what our portfolio looks like today. We've got a number of open cell products that range from Classic to Classic Max, which is a product that includes an ignition barrier coating. Classic Eco, as I said, was the green type product we have, and then Classic Plus has a little bit higher density and provides a little higher R value per inch with that product. And then we've got 3 closed cell products, our original MDC or medium density Classic 200, and then we've also come out with a new product that has a higher R value called ProSeal. And then the ProSeal Eco is really the only closed cell spray foam product that the blowing agent is actually water, and so the R value drops a little bit with that product, but still performs very well for a closed cell foam. Why spray foam insulation? This is a graphic that just shows what's happened with residential energy prices since 2008. So every year the energy prices continue to increase, and that means heating and cooling bills continue to get higher and higher every year. So with that said, this is a snapshot of what the residential energy consumption looks like in a typical home, and you can see that the heating and cooling components make up about 43% of the overall operating costs for a home. So with spray foam insulation, as I'd mentioned, you address the conductive heat resistance, and then the convective or air barrier component of spray foam is really what helps home buyers save money, and we see ranging anywhere from 30% to up to 60% on their heating and cooling bills by minimizing the air leakage. So that's really the reason why home buyers would consider, or home builders would consider, using spray foam insulation. So just a quick reference, if anyone has any questions or would like any further information on the advantages of spray foam insulation, our North American website is just www.icynene.com, and you can go in there, and we've got a section for builders or for installers that they can go in, as well as, for architects, that they can go in and find out more detailed information on the products, the benefits of the product, etc. And with that said, if anyone on the call has any questions or would just like to get more details or see costing information on Icynene spray foam installation, my email address is listed here below. It's just tcomstock@icynene.com. So with that said, I will turn this over to Heather, and thanks again everybody for joining the call.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate your time today. That was insightful and useful, and I know we've got some builders on the call today that may be hearing about your product for the first time, and you talked about builders coming around and poking and prodding at the trade show booth. Is Icynene going to be exhibiting at the PCBC show in San Diego in June?
Yes, we will have a show at the PCBC show, and we'll be hosting some other events with some other manufacturers, and in particular with another HomeSphere partner with Plygem. So we're excited and really ramped up our presence at that show and are looking forward to it.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that and look forward to seeing you guys out there. Molly, I see your screen just fine. We're kicking things off. Again, I wanted to thank Tim, and if there's any questions that anyone has for Tim or for Icynene, I encourage you to use the webinar chat feature asking your question, and we'll cover those questions at the end if we have some time. We're going to turn our attention to today's core presentation from John Burns, Real Estate Consulting. They're a partner of HomeSphere and an industry leader in housing research. And today they'll be providing an overview on technology and innovation in community and home design. So with that, I'd like to now pass over the presentation to Molly Carmichael. Molly is a principal at John Burns in the custom consulting practice. And Molly, I'm pleased to introduce you, and I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Heather. So let's dive into some of the fun stuff. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. As Heather mentioned, my name is Molly Carmichael. I actually lead the consumer and product research efforts for the company, and we have consultants from the East Coast to the West Coast that help to support all of these efforts. We're going to dive through, I'll do just a quick agenda for today. I'm going to do just briefly a little bit about us, and then we're going to dive into home and community technology. We're going to touch first on consumer preferences. We've touched on some of this in the past when we looked at green technology and things like that. And then we did some kind of fun research. I really enjoyed this, looking at different product opportunities out there that I think are new and innovative. And I think there's more to come after this too. One of the big things when you look at historically at how much has evolved in the last 100 to 150 years with just simply things like, frankly, the internet and transportation and electricity. I mean, all those things that we've really seen shift with solar and things like that. So there's a lot of exciting things we have to talk about today. So thanks again for everybody for joining. So a little bit about us. We have consultants across the country from East Coast to West Coast. We actually do quite a bit of research all over the country. As a whole, we look at sort of three major categories. But to sum it up, it's anything that we can do to actually help you make a more solid investment as it relates to anything real estate. So we have monthly research products that help track market and investment trends and forecasting. Again, we have custom consultants all over the country. And then, of course, we're spending a lot of time trying to understand what consumers want next and great product solutions out there. So this is what I consider sort of our strategy wheel for the company. This covers a little bit more detail, all of the aspects of what we're covering. So we're looking at market and investment trends. We have a proprietary demand model by life stage and price, so we track every transaction and figure out who's buying it, what they're buying. Then we're talking to consumers about what they want next. So we talk to home shoppers across the country. And then we look at typical things like housing supply, how it's different for each developer or builder out there. What product trends today are out there that are innovative and fantastic out there, or frankly, new solutions that you should be thinking about. So we're working with great architects out there that are providing some new ideas too. And then of course the stuff like financial testing and marketing and sales. So consumer insights and design lens are what we're going to talk about today. Again, consumer insights provide some of the research from customers out there shopping. And design lens is actually a website that we offer with product solutions. So we're tracking new home neighborhoods out there, bringing sort of clever solutions to new home design. And with that, we actually do a lot of special features like home technology and community technology. So consumer insights, we actually talked to over 20,000 people last year. We had a ridiculous number of questions. We had 100 plus questions, very visual. We are going to be launching our next Consumer Insights too the next month, so there's a lot of great stuff coming out, very specific to home, and some of this stuff we're actually going to be testing. Design Lens, as we talked about, really is focused on the new home design solutions. The big emphasis and difference with Design Lens is it is focused on new home design, so it's a little bit different than like a House or a Pinterest and some of that. This is solely focused on new home communities out there today. So diving in, let's dive into home technology. So the key ingredients that I found as I did a lot of this research to really providing good technology, it's really saving your consumer more time, more savings, and more comfort. And you're going to see that in a lot of the numbers that we actually have for Consumer Insights. And so that was my focus for community and home technology, was what was really going to help our consumers either save more time, more savings, or more comfort. So diving into Consumer Insights and what consumers are actually asking for today, 91% of our consumers actually want energy efficient products, but they want you to prove it. They want green in their pockets. And 65% said they would actually pay $7,500 more for green for monthly savings. And 73%, unfortunately, really want design features first. And so for those energy efficient features out there, they've really got to be conscious of the green in their pocket, as well as all those other things out there too. So 82% will pay actually an additional $5,000 for upgraded energy efficient materials. But the top 5 energy efficient features really had to do with some of the simple stuff. So it's newer windows, programmable thermostats, adequate insulation, so that ties nicely with our sponsor today, a new air conditioning unit, and high insulation standards. So all of that, those are your top 5, and so those are some key basics. But there are other things that you can do that are so efficient out there today. I was excited to see some of the new research. A lot of our builders across the country are speaking to HERS scores. I would continue to educate your consumers on this. They don't fully understand it, but if you bottom line it to their monthly cost, that's really what they're looking for. So this is a great visual of a builder that actually did it right, in my opinion. So they're talking HERS scores, but they're really translating that to what are my monthly expenses and how are they going to change. 43% said it was an indicator of the builder's reputation. So great technology in the home is a reflection of a great new home builder. They aren't buying a used or resale home, so they expect new and innovative solutions. 41% said that they actually do want an energy efficient home, and they should have solar panels. So there's all kinds of new technology out there for solar panels that builders can offer with a no-cost option. The difference is that solar company actually owns the solar panels, but they do provide still that lower monthly savings. So there are several companies out there now offering that without you having to make that $30,000 investment, filing for tax advantages and things like that. So look at some of those new companies out there that can give that to you day one, no additional cost. Only 7% said said that energy efficiency was not important. So that technology that actually makes their home more efficient is important. You'll see in some of the trends that we looked at for new product solutions, it's really all about performance, and I would be talking performance of home as much as I would be talking about energy efficiency. But I think what they're looking for is better performance, because that's going to mean better savings for them. 97%, not a shocker, they actually want lower operating costs. And again, that's all about performance. And 90% do want to prepare for rising energy costs. And everybody's very aware, much with the rise of gasoline, things like that, all those extra expenses really add up. And frankly, they add up to what can I afford when I actually go out to buy a new home. 86% say that it proves that their builder is using best practices. Again, going back into that builder reputation. What I have found in a lot of the research we have done, sincerely, they're less concerned about giving you the history of your company, and they're more concerned about what you're going to do for them. And they really trust that person that they're talking to. So educate your sales team. Certainly your construction team is very aware of how the performance works within the home that they're buying. But the more and more the person they're talking to day one understands all those important features, huge value. and make sure it's very evident on your websites as well. 75% do want high-tech appliances. Boy, is the world changing in high-tech appliances. There's some really great solutions, all controlled from your smartphone today. Only 25% actually want a smart home monitoring system for $7,000. But what if it were a lot less expensive? We're going to actually test that in our next Consumer Insight survey coming up in the next month. It's really, really important. There are some great apps out there that actually can help your consumers do it themselves. And as a home builder or a developer, just providing those ideas, frankly, even branding them as your ideas as a builder can be really a huge advantage as you're trying to separate yourself from the competition. 62% do want a community intranet too. So it may not necessarily relate to home technology, but certainly technology for the community. There's all kinds of things that you can do that are built for you today that actually can help shout the events, the clubs, the billboards, all the things that frankly are built in and around your neighborhood. They don't even have to be within your master plan. But market what's there. They're looking for those kinds of things. So let's look at some of the new product opportunities. Again, this will be a special feature in Design Lens this month. But as you're looking at new technology ideas and different things to set yourself apart, there's some really great things that I think you can find out there. So what are the key ingredients that we looked at there? Again, focusing on time and savings and comfort, security, temperature control, lighting, entertainment, appliances, measure performance, tools to help measure performance and frankly refine and get better. Better health was pretty interesting. And then of course things that relate to community, things that solve wanting to be able to connect via an intranet site and things like that are easy for whether I'm a small builder or a large builder. So home performance, I was very conscious not to sort of promote one company versus another, so don't take any of this as sort of a support for one brand versus another, but look at the features and find the best features that do this. But there are great sort of webcams, obviously, that you can actually have security in every room while you're at home or while you're away. Temperature and humidity sensors, literally a motion detection that when you walk into a room, the temperature actually adjusts based on your preferences. I love this one. When you come in the door and you're carrying 5,000 things and you're juggling everything that has to do with life, all of a sudden your favorite music starts right as you walk through the door. It's like turning on your car. Every car across America has a radio today, yet the most expensive purchase you make does not have music built in. What if that was something that was easy to do, upgrade, and change? Oftentimes I'll hear things like, well, wireless speakers and things like that. Those are so much easier, and they're going to change and evolve. Well, there's some interesting solutions out there that we'll talk a little bit about. You can send alerts to your phone, things that actually will tell you, hey, you left the air conditioner on all day, things that actually will save you money every day. Obviously, health issues like detecting carbon monoxide, and other uses like malware protection and encrypted cloud storage. So things that will protect your data, your photos, all those things that, when you ask somebody if your house burned down, what's the one thing you take with you? What's your photos? So what are those things that you're doing in your home technology to protect those things that you take with you if the home burned down? Home performance, huge. There are so many things out there today that actually can measure performance amongst plans, and frankly, as home builders, to promote that you're actually tracking that and revising and advising your customer to give them a reason to talk to them after the home closes by helping them. And helping them to really sort of refine their home technology would be fantastic. So what are the advantages? Lower utility bills, better performance, measure design, and again, just that figuring out how to help that person who's at home, a working mom, all those things, get better everything. I love this one. It's a keypad entry, and I actually saw this at a Brookfield Homes community. It was fantastic. They actually use this both in the sales and marketing of this community, but I also love the idea of not having to have my keys with me all the time. The other great part about this, and I actually added this to my own home, you have a keypad entry, but you also can let guests in if they come for any sort of service issues. You've got in-house video that actually allows you to see that guest as they enter the home, as you give them access. There's no keys needed. You no longer have to find that My husband's always kidding me about getting a clapper so I can find my keys instantly, all those kinds of things. This is a really simple, added security, great convenience, and just so many great benefits to this. Heated floors or heated driveway. I thought this was fantastic for all you developers and builders working on the East Coast or Midwest. This is a whole new kind of convenience. I can't tell you how many times I do focus groups and things like that where they're talking about shoveling snow and what an inconvenience that is. But there are huge and I think fantastic opportunities for home technology to actually provide heated driveways so you can eliminate that sort of inconvenience all the time. So again, things to make their lives easy. This was interesting. So can lights that actually convert to speakers, so you can actually still have the light but also have music. It's about $250 a light, and what a great way to actually show them how to easily have built-in speakers day one, and actually remove the clutter of having speakers all over the house. We just did a series of focus groups with Gen Y, and one of the things they said was, I just need more space on the floor, on my counters, everywhere, because I don't have a lot of space, and I'm trying to maximize that. This is a simple way to give them more space, and how clever. Smart grid appliances. There are great things going on there with appliances that I think are changing the way we think about cooking and monitoring and all kinds of stuff, but we'll talk a little bit about that. But again, you can turn your appliances on remotely. You can start dinner as you're leaving the office if you know it's going to take 45 minutes and it takes you 30 minutes to get home. You can wash a load of laundry while on vacation. I wish it could fold too, but we're not there yet. Monitor the energy usage of your appliances so you can actually sort of make some changes and constantly be maximizing your energy bills. And again, turn your appliances on and off during less peak hours. So again, turn on your dishwasher during the day when you aren't getting charged those higher rates. All those things, again, better performance, longer term savings, and frankly just convenience. Now if we could just get a robot that would clean the house too, that would be fantastic. Here's another great appliance. I love this. So this is actually by LG, and it literally will order your groceries and monitor the food in your refrigerator. So it connects to the internet. It manages all the food inside. It has an interactive grocery list. It can even track expiration dates. You can order food online from the LCD panel they have. You can actually have videos and graphics while you're cooking and things like that. It'll also provide you recipes based on the ingredients you have left in the refrigerator. It's pretty amazing. But again, it saves you from wasting food, it maximizes recipes, it's easy ordering, it saves you time, and it's very convenient. This is a really funny name, but it is the name. It's called Big Ass Fans, and yes, that is the name. But it's smart fan technology, long story short. It basically turns on and off. It goes up and down based on temperatures and things like that. It is a little pricey at $1,000 and greater, but what a great piece of technology, depending on what price point you're selling, that I know consumers would actually appreciate, and obviously adds a lot of comfort to the home. I loved this, and I found this online, which I thought was interesting, and it's basically a butler for you, and Alfred's the name. Basically what this does is it is literally your butler. It will do laundry and dry cleaning, it will deliver groceries, it'll pick up packages, it'll send mom a birthday card, it'll stock your refrigerator, all these things. It's about $99 a month, and they're smart. They're targeting an audience of about 75,000 or greater. But how great would that be if you just, again, all these things, you're integrating these ideas for your very busy customers that are trying to figure out how to make life easier, save time, more convenience, all those things. A huge opportunity just to integrate into your brand and what you do. Health devices. So we have things like, you know, a lot of the armbands now that are actually the Fitbits that are tracking health and all those things. But this is basically called telehealth, and it can actually be done from home. But as the boomers get older and things like that, I mean, thinking through how to bring technology and these healthy things to the home, I think are huge. So setting up video conferencing with the physician, track diabetes using a tablet, updates on heart rate and things like that. There's all kinds of great technology that, again, in the AQ communities that are coming out, all those things you can integrate into, again, your brand and what you're offering. I worked on a community in Ohio once, and the best amenity they had was an 8 to 5 doctor at the community. And so being able to offer those kinds of services that are thoughtful about how they live, what's important to them, all those things are huge. A virtual view. A lot of you, there's a movie out where they actually show a view like this. But whether it's on the ceiling or on the walls, but it's basically a digital window. So sky views, a view in the foyer, an ocean view from the family room. Not everybody can afford that big view, but this is a great way to actually add some depth into your product and make it feel bigger, and how exciting. And the advantage, you sell. And it's very emotional. To even show something like this as an option, I think really adds a lot of creativity, and what a fun idea. Smart door technology, we're seeing these doors take off from East Coast to West Coast. But you can even add these doors into your smart technology, where those can open at the touch of your iPhone. There's all kinds of great things, and again, you sell. It's about emotion. It does add comfort, and frankly, there's a lot of convenience to doing that. Those doors can be pretty heavy depending on how big those doors are too. So there's a safety issue there too, I think. A new kind of power is coming. So everybody has been tracking the Tesla car. There's all kinds of excitement happening there. Well, Tesla's actually working on a home battery, an off-the-grid solution. So their target is to come out with a lower price solution. It's not really out there evident today in any big production way, but certainly this could be something to keep your eyes on, and it is intended to save money and, frankly, give you all more control in the end. I loved this. So next door, as you're looking at your communities, it's basically an intranet designed for your community, and it's outside of just the community benefits that are so important in a master plan. Next door is that intranet site for info, location, or master plan. What are all those things that are sitting around you? How can I connect to get a babysitter? How can I connect to the local wine club, running club, all those kinds of things. But Nextdoor is intended to connect you to the people in your community. So the advantage, it's a time saver, it saves you money, and frankly, if you're a developer or a builder out there, you don't have to do all that hard work. A lot of this hard work is being done for you in Nextdoor, so that's something to actually look at. This is one I'm going to keep my eye on, and I'm really interested to see how this evolves over the next decade or two. But iPad education. Imagine if you could have the best education from some of the best Ivy League schools worldwide shared on iPads. And how is this going to change our schools in the future? I think we have a huge opportunity, and it can still stay very integrated and social. But it will save time, money, comfort, and it gives our parents and frankly our kids more control over what we think is best and most important for them. And what a great opportunity for them longer term. So that's it on home and community technology. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Our goal was to provide you some innovative and different solutions for the new home world out there with consumer insights and design lens. So I'd like to turn it back over to Heather and open up for any questions or comments.
Thank you, Molly. That was terrific. And as usual, we have a few questions that came in, and it looks like we've got some time. So I'm going to ask those of you. You actually mentioned one of my favorite apps at the end there, the Nextdoor app. I was just sharing that app with my management team this week. And so that was timely. And one of the questions that came in is for you. You mentioned there's a few cool apps out there related to smart home technology. Can you name a few that you personally use or you personally recommend that are top of your list? I think you just unmuted. There you go.
You know, I did just unmute. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
You know, there were several out there. Yeah, so there are several out there. I don't have a favorite. I really can't point to necessarily a favorite. I would find the best one for the community or that, you know, whatever you're offering out there. So I can't really name the one that I think would be the right solution for everybody.
Okay. No, and the Nextdoor app is something I use every day. So if you're on the call today and you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend it myself to answer that question. And then looks like a few more questions are coming in here. So next question for you, Molly, is have you found that the desire for home innovation and technology spans the generations of home buyers?
I have actually. So this is really interesting. We actually did some consumer research amongst the generations. And what you'll find actually with the millennials is technology is a part of their DNA. It's who they are. It's literally like another arm on their body to some degree. So it's very much a part of their everyday life. If you look at I'm going to call it the Gen X and Boomers, or the 40-plus group, which is how we sort of looked at it, they actually see technology more as an accessory. So it's a complement to how they live. And so as we evolve over time, are there huge differences? They both see it as an advantage, but they also both, or all groups, I shouldn't say both, all groups actually require, if it benefits them in saving them time, if it benefits them in saving money, if it adds value to their lifestyle, they'll use it. The difference is how they see it and how instrumental it is. But the key is, for Gen Y particularly, and certainly the Boomers too, it has to be realistic from an affordability standpoint. They want it, but there are so many free apps out there and free ways to look at it. A lot of the technology and a lot of the solutions I provided today are actually pretty darn cost efficient too. It's just ways of housing that together. And again, I think for the builder and the developer, it's pulling a package together of pieces of that and branding that as their solution outside of just the pure sticks and bricks of the house.
Great. Randy Goss had a question for you. Have you had any feedback on the use of a low-cost smart home control system named Wink?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either, so we'll have to look that up.
There's a bunch of great ones out there, which is why I was hesitant to sort of name one. But there's some really great ones out there.
No, I agree. And if we can find the one where you can find your keys with a clapper, I need that too. So I'm with you.
What a keypad. I'm telling you that keypad is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm with you. Consumer demand is high, but any insight into the percentage of builders that are offering things like smart home to meet that demand?
You know, it's interesting. I would tell you the opportunity is to actually be more thoughtful and creative about it. I don't see it as much as I'd hoped to. So it is one of the big things in Design Lens, and it's a huge passion as part of that program, is we are tracking, green technology out there. We're also tracking home technology, and I think that's the opportunity and why we chose this as the first quarter's presentation, is I think it is not out there nearly as much as it could be, and I think it's getting the right program out there that doesn't cost a lot. And there are great solutions out there, of which we've showcased today. And again, we're not promoting any one brand at all. Our goal is to provide you better information to simply make better decisions. That's our goal, so there's no advocacy there at all for any particular brand. But there are great solutions out there that are very economical.
Oh, I agree, and I'm sure that builders appreciate that insight and consumers as well. Tim talked a little bit about his plans at PCBC. I know that you're doing a couple of presentations potentially in June in San Diego. Are any of them going to be along this same vein or talking about smart home technology, or anything that you want to talk about that John Burns is doing at the event in June?
We are. Actually, our whole focus will be rolling out better and new solutions, again, based on consumer insights. We'll actually be out there with Design Lens talking about new product trends. We're tracking, again, what I call the most clever products across the country. And we will absolutely be looking at home technology and how that's evolving, both with real solutions, but we're constantly keeping our eye out there as to who's doing it right and doing it well.
Great, and I know there's a rumor you may potentially speak with HomeSphere, so we'll see if we can arrange that, and then once confirmed, we can share that with everybody who attended today as well, and hopefully connect in San Diego. The remaining questions, Molly, are the usual questions. If anybody is asking for a copy of the presentation, this is a usual request because Molly does such a great job. You're going to get a thank you for attending email from me, Heather Knutson, and if you respond to that and ask for those slides, Molly and I will share those with you today as a thank you for attending. And there's one requests for one slide in particular as well, so please do respond and we'll get you that information. And with that, I want to thank Molly Carmichael at John Burns Real Estate Consulting as well as Tim Comstock at Icing for their valuable information. I want to let everybody know, if you like HomeSphere on Facebook, we do these events quarterly with Molly and the John Burns team, so please do so. If you're a builder and you'd like to connect with us to learn about collecting rebates with preferred partners such as Icing, please reach out to me. You will be getting an email from me in the next hour with that information. And if you're attending PCBC, we'd love to connect with you there in June as well. Stay tuned for future events, and my thanks to each of you. Good day.